Hello everyone, I'm Sejal from Brighton Physio. Today's my topic is physical therapy assessment after total knee replacement surgery. So, let's get started. Total knee replacement is also known as total knee arthroplasty is a common orthopedic surgery that involves replacement of all three components, that is femoral condyle, tibial plateau and patella. So let's first begin with subjective assessment. Subjective assessment of patient first includes history of knee joint before and after surgery, then presence of any other musculoskeletal problems like obesity, osteoarthritis of knee on other side, arthritis of other lower extremity joints, presence of any comorbidity, for example hypertension, diabetes, depression and chronic pain which is relevant to the present condition, any past relevant medical history and date of surgery and progression of condition in home exercise after surgery. Then comes objective assessment. Objective assessment first include pain assessment. The most common type of pain experienced by patient after TKR is chronic post-surgical pain. So, chronic post-surgical pain in TKR is defined as a pain that is present 3 months after surgery. According to the Initiative on Methods, Measurement and Pain Assessment in Clinical Trial Guidelines, the assessment of pain should include measurement of pain severity or intensity, that is measured by visual analog scale or numerical pain rating scale. Then, the pain medication which is taken by the patient, quality of pain and the temporal aspect of pain which include variability, pattern, frequency and duration of pain. Common causes of post-operative TKR pain includes acute infection, instability, prosthetic malalignment and soft tissue impingement. Sharp catching pain after TKR may indicate mechanical problems such as impingement of soft tissue. Pain at rest or pain at night may suggest presence of infection or referred neurogenic pain. Pain during activity rather than rest is likely to be due to loose component or maybe because of instability, impingement or tendinitis. There should be increased risk of infection in patients with background history of diabetes, psoriasis, RA or an immunocompromised status. The observation of patient include pattern of gait, surgical scar, erythema, presence of any swelling, edema or effusion, skin discoloration, any tropical changes and limb alignment. Effusion can be secondary to the hemarthrosis. Presence of increased temperature along with presence of swelling and obvious sinuses may suggest the presence of infection. Atrophic changes, dusky and discolored skin over knee or leg may be associated with chronic regional pain syndrome or vascular disease. Excessive external or internal rotation of leg may indicate rotational malposition of the tibial component. In patient with TKR, we can palpate tenderness, temperature and swelling of the affected part. Tenderness on the medial aspect of knee can be caused by either overhanging of tibial component causing irritation of the medial collateral ligament or tenderness along the lateral border of the patella can occur with lateral facet syndrome because of an undersized patellar component. The examination part of the patient include active and passive range of motion, then also check for stability of knee joint, check for presence of any knee hyperextension, fist flexion deformity or extensor leg. Check for patellar trekking and presence of any clunk or crepitation, strength of quadriceps and hamstring muscle. Apart from knee joint assessment, examination of lumbar spine, hip, foot and ankle should be the part of assessment of patient with painful TKR. Then comes girth measurement. So, knee girth is determined by measurement of the transverse plane circumferences of knee at mid-patellar height in a supine position using a flexible plastic measuring tape. Functional assessment includes two components, that is, performance-based measurement of activity and patient-reported outcome measures. So, performance-based measurement of activity includes time up and go test to evaluate functional efficiency of patient, stair climbing test and 6-minute walk test. While the patient-reported outcome measure includes various scales like WOMAC, that is Western Ontario McMaster University Osteoarthritis Index, American Knee Society Score, short form 36, Knee Injury and Osteoarthritis Outcome Score, Oxford Knee Score, Hospital for Special Surgery Knee Score, Fallot Patellar Score, and Knee Outcome Survey Activity of Daily Living Scale. Gait analysis include observation of pattern of gait, then measurement of gait parameter includes average stride length, average step length, cadence, step width, and presence of heel strike and toe off. Imaging in X-ray, the lateral view will disclose overfilling of patellofemoral joint as a result of inserting a too large femoral component, anterior translation of femoral component, or inadequate resection of patella. This error will lead to pain and decreased flexion at the knee joint. The skyline view is particularly important to assess the patellofemoral joint, while CT scan can be helpful for evaluating the patient with painful TKR. In lab investigation, ESR, that is erythrocyte sedimentation rate, and the level of C-reactive protein are widely used as a serum markers for assessing bacterial infection in patients with total joint arthroplasty. Aspiration of synovial fluid is also a valuable diagnostic tool in suspected infection. So here in this video, I have outlined the important key features of assessment after TKR, and these are the references I have gone through. You can also refer for more detail. Thank you for watching with me.